said you're going to live, you're going to live. Amen. Give God a hand of praise right there. A praise goes right there if you don't know it. If God said you're going to live, you're going to live. And for the Bible scholars this morning, I won't preach the entirety of Ezekiel 16. I'm focusing on that part that we just really touched on, where God tells a story through the prophet Ezekiel, through an allegory. And the child that he's talking about is really an allegory for the children of Israel. And I won't go into all of that part because this morning my assignment, my mission is more of an individual assignment for this message. It's not necessarily talking to the entire church body as a whole, but I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. That's what I'm talking to you. Yep, you came today, I'm talking right to you. If God said you're going to live, you're going to live. And that's why the text starts off with this story of a man discovering a young newborn baby. This baby cast away. As a matter of fact, the description of the baby says that the cord was not even cut, symbolizing that for this message, that even the child's mother and father let him down. Didn't even have the care to cut the umbilical cord. And not only was the cord not cut, but the midwife or the doctor who brought the child into the world, if there was one, did not even wash the baby. Rubbing with salt was a custom in that time where it was used, as salt does do, to kill any infection. So not only did the parents neglect the child, but those who were to nurture the child after birth did not do what they were supposed to do. Somebody know what I'm talking about. And then not only did the parents neglect the child, those who birthed the child neglect the child, those who should have surrounded the baby and been a village, as we talk about, did not step in. For he finds the child cast away in a field somewhere. And many times we find that sometimes, maybe not literally, but somebody in here has been let down by mom and daddy. Somebody in here, those who brought you into the world, those who should have nurtured you, abused you instead. The village around you that should have tucked you in, for some reason, cast you out. Now the writer says this man walks by and he sees the child struggling in his own blood. Struggling in his blood represents this child was, some say, choking to death, about to suffocate in the very thing that gives it life. The Bible says life is in the blood. I'm choking, struggling in my own blood, struggling in my own life. I was struggling. The very thing that should have brought me life caused me a struggle. He's here in this building. He's in everywhere, God. He's looking at you and looking at me. The psalmist said, where can I go to escape from your presence? If I go, I take the wings of the morning and fly away. Behold, you're there. If I make my bed in hell, anybody know about anything about going through some hell? He said, behold, you're there. If I ascend up to the uttermost part of the heaven, you are there. I'm glad that God sees me when in my struggle. He's a God that knows where you live. That's why I don't mind somebody speaking prophetically over me, but understand this. Anything that God really needs to know, he can tell me. He knows where I live. He knows what I'm going through. He knows what's in my heart. All you can do is come and confirm what God has already said. I'm glad that God sees me. The soul folks used to sing the song all day. And all night, God got angels watching over me, and that's all right. But I'm glad to have God himself watching over me. He said, I saw you in your struggle. And then he said, not only did I see you, but he said, but I said. Hallelujah. That's the second point. God said it. And if God said it, it will come to pass. For when God speaks, worlds begin to twirl. When God speaks, light separates from the day. When God speaks, the earth, the flowers start to move up from the earth and press their way up into the atmosphere. When God speaks, man began to be formed from the dust of the ground. When God speaks, lepers get clean. When God speaks, angels start flapping their wings. It's going to take place. But Sunday after Sunday, you come up in here. Nobody don't know it because you don't look like what you've been through. But I know that somebody in here can declare, if it had not been for the Lord. God said it, God said it. God said it, Bethlehem. God said it. And if God said it, I'm crazy enough to believe it. If God said it, I'm going to shout anyhow. Give God a praise anyhow. Hallelujah. Anyhow.